When I was little, I wanted to become either a princess, a ballerina, or a mailman. And to me, they all seemed equally possible, and I thought I could be any of them. But usually I got the most laughs out of mailman. They didn't expect a little girl, like 4 or 5 years old, to say they wanted to become a mailman.
I don't know, I love everything that comes with being a woman, and I love femininity in general, as a whole. Like, I think it's a very pure and beautiful thing, and I love that I get to be empathetic and express love without no bounds and restraints that some other genders do. And
I love the ability to like be kind and loving, and like also like care about other people and like other individuals to like such a deep extent, yet still be strong and independent and resilient.
I felt targeted several times for being a woman, either when I went to a concert and someone was looking at my butt because I was wearing shorts, or then trying to make advances at me as if my clothes were telling them that they could.
In the past, like recently, at least like in my teenage years, I've definitely felt a lot of like sexual expectations, and I've also felt like people expect me to act in a certain way, like based on my gender. And like I've definitely had a lot of advances that I haven't appreciated, and like I've made that clear, yet they've still like continued to advance on me or whatever. Just like a couple weeks ago, I was in Starbucks and I was just nice to this man. Like, I see him often. He's like, I don't know, I just see him at Starbucks in Red Rock and stuff. And then for some reason he thought, I was literally just like nice to him, yet like for some reason he thought I wanted more than like a friendly conversation. And like while he was like getting up to leave, he like came up to me and like jumped on me and he tried to like kiss me. And I was like, and my friends were also just like in shock, like what is, like why would you assume that she would be okay with that? Like, he's a complete stranger to me, yet like he thought I would be okay with that.
It kind of relates back to like the boys will be boys culture. It's just like that is just, I feel like it's feeding rape culture in a sense. That, oh, it's just a joke, or it's just locker room talk, like it doesn't matter. But it does matter, and at some point you have to stand up and say that it's not just a joke.
one time when I was in Iran, actually, I wasn't wearing my hijab properly, and my uncle was like, this is serious, like you need to be professional, like pull your hijab like down and stuff. And it was really embarrassing, and like his hair was showing, like the hypocrisy was amazing.
My mom, she grew up in India. She is definitely very Indian, and like she hasn't assimilated as much, which is not a bad thing, but I definitely think she reinforced like, oh, you should be able to cook, you should be able to like, you should be doing this for your brothers, for your brother, for your dad, like for your family, like when my cousins come over, like you should be the one serving them, like. And then I used to always question that and be like, why? Like, why can't Ankit, my brother, do it? And there was never really an answer to that. It was just like, but you're the girl, like you should know how to do this.
Even in one of my math classes last year, one of my teachers said something as I was trying to just say that my answer was right and trying to justify my answer. They said that I was being a typical woman trying to make an argument out of something that didn't really matter. And one of my friends called him out on it and said that that was sexist, and he tried to just play as if it was just a joke. But that kept occurring. And it's happened in some of my other classes as well, where it may seem like a joke, but you remember it for a long time.
I wish men would understand that a woman is allowed to be loud and allowed to be emotional and allowed to be bitchy or bossy, and that should be okay, and like you shouldn't have to apologize for something like that.
I think that it's important for everyone to realize that it's not as easy for people of certain genders than it is for others. And it relates back to either their sexual orientation, to their race, to their gender, to whatever makes them seem different than the norm. So what I hope for women of the future and for other minorities is that we will be listened to and respected and given equal opportunities so that we're not seen as a threat and that equality isn't feared. Because I feel like a lot of people fear equality, which is what causes a lot of violence or a lot of separation between groups of people.
Everyone's different and everyone like has good and bad traits, but like we're all like beautiful in the end. I feel like we should all just like learn to appreciate each other more so than just judging based on like very like not important like aspects.
What I would say to people who think that they aren't enough is that you are worth it, and that even though in your community it may not seem like you are respected or you're not getting the support that you should be, that somewhere in the world there is someone who believes in you.
Don't look at the media and Kylie Jenner as a standard of what a woman is, and don't hold yourself to a certain standard of woman, because you don't have to look pretty or you don't have to like dress in a certain way just to become a woman, or just to like hold yourself up to a standard of what you think a woman should be, because you are you and you define woman for yourself and femininity for yourself, and everyone has a different spectrum.
I think it's really important for like all women to like come together and like show each other like their beauty, and like show each other like how strong we all are and like resilient, and how much like our experiences have like contributed to how resilient we are.